Hello everybody, this is Maniac for Bricks, for all different kinds of LEGO brand content, even if it's old or obscure, whatever it is, even if it's officially LEGO, it's going to be here at some point, and then some after that. So this is kind of a wrap-up haul, recap sort of thing from the past couple of weeks, where I've picked up things along the way, and just updating on one video, which I've done in the past. So I know there's not Brick Theory content. I am still working on it. I'm actually working on little extra things with it to try to get them put together much better than I normally do, and hopefully more frequently. So bear with me. There's a lot of other projects in the background. I've been trying to still keep this active in some way, just in the meanwhile of, sharing things about LEGO. And of course, appearing on different things like Cali Brick Click and on London Calling last week. So, to start things off, I have a pretty interesting little thing I picked up right at the end of Too Many Games Expo in Philadelphia, or Oaks, PA, really, like the same place as Philly Brickfest. On the way home, I stopped at a Walmart, and I was trying to look for something else, but I came across a Lego Halloween costume. And this is kind of weird because I've looked through Targets and Walmarts near me, and they haven't appeared this season. I don't know if they've made any new ones, or they just haven't distributed that much. But I did find one that appeared to be new, and I did look again at the date, and it's like, oh, this just came out this year. And it's a Walmart exclusive. And no other Walmarts around me have had them. What gives? So I thought I might as well try it out and see how it goes. If you already saw last week's London Bridge Bricks London Calling live stream, you already know what I'm talking about. It is the Lego Star Wars Boba Fett. Boba Head. I don't know why I was thinking Brickhead and Boba Head, put them together. Boba Fett costume with a headpiece and some gloves. I did actually want to get this costume for the mask and for the gloves, and the rest of it, unfortunately, is probably not going to fit me because it's a child-sized costume, not really made for that. As you might have already seen in a video recently with the Lego brick costume, it's borderline adult size. It almost fit, but I did a little choke a little around the neck while wearing it, and just, smiled away. Unfortunately, the hands are child size as well. But the mask is still suitable. So, this was kind of a neat thing to try on during the live stream, and it works okay. I know it's kind of weird reviewing only part of the product, but then again, if I can't wear the rest of it, I don't know what to do. I can still talk through here. It is still very muffled, but there is a mouthpiece right around the center here. And the way that it's held in place is kind of interesting because the mask itself doesn't cover all the way around. You can kind of see how it looks from side to side. It's more of the Boba Fett look than the Lego look. Only a little bit of it you can tell from here with this antenna piece or whatever it's called. But you still understand what it is. And the funny thing about how it's held in place, because of how flat of a mask it is how it actually looks on the inside. So when this thing is put on, you actually have these 3 pegs on the sides of it. They're very soft, but still plastic. And they're kind of pressing against your cheeks, right? Like on each side of your nose and part of your forehead. And this is the kind of thing that's, again, even if it's a child costume, still looks okay in an adult. But it is a little bit weird of just how it's held in place like that, even though it does have a Velcro strap on the back of it to, wrap around it. But, interesting way of stabilizing it, as opposed to wrapping it around a head or so. Because I did have 1 or 2 other costumes that wrapped around a head, and it's a little bit tight, even for the adult costume size of it. So going along with that, I also find a little bit weird that it's a very slim vision to it. Especially for a Halloween costume, you do want to see where you're going. You're going to be walking across the street and everything, so you still might need a little bit of supervision with that. Because it's only really this horizontal bar right here that you can see through. So I can still see part of the mask around here or so while wearing it. Make of it as I will. But it was still fun to try out on the live stream, just to have some fun with it. And Lego costumes are fun to check out over the years. It is still weird to me that they don't have as many made this year as opposed to before, because they used to have Ninjago as a regular. I don't even know if they had Star Wars regularly. I don't remember seeing any Lego Star Wars costumes in the past couple of years. They used to have Nexo Knights, they used to have Mixels. I had homemade costumes when I was younger, like first or second grade, I had a brick built costume. It looked like the Lego brick from Series 21 or 19 or something like that, with the green brick in front of it. And I also had a green brick on top of me. It was really adorable. Maybe I'll share that again on Instagram and Twitter and everything like that. So follow me there. But there's also another costume that I had in high school, which you've probably already seen in one of the recent videos, that has it's basically a trail mix bowl, one of those really big trail mix bowls, or party mix bowls, or whatever it's called. And part of it is just cut out, foam that's wrapped around it. There's a mesh material that's put on one side of it. Since it's transparent, you can already see through it. And the mesh just kind of helps with obscuring some of the vision, so that way you can still see through it just fine, but it'll look fine from the outside of seeing the minifigure eyes and mouth. And on top of it is actually using a Lego canister stud piece from Explore, like way back to 2012 or 2002, 2003-ish. What I'm actually going to be wearing this year as a Halloween costume is not Lego related at all, but I will get to that at the end of the video. But I do have a couple other interesting things, because I am Maniac for Bricks. Might as well have some Maniac stuff, right? I don't have any Maniac for Bricks merch running right now, although I do bring it up every once in a while. Maybe some will come up next year for the 10th anniversary, but who knows? We'll wait and see. For now, I wanted to pick up this official Lego Land hat. Lego Maniac Kidvention 2000. The year 2000, there was a Lego convention that was held at Legoland, California. As far as I know, it was only at that park, but I don't know if it was available in other places. I only saw advertisements about it through the Lego Club magazines in the States. California, that was the only one at the time. And yeah, this was a in-the-park convention, having special events, having some different costume characters and things like that. And it sounds cool. I've never went to it. I was only 5 years old at the time, and I still haven't been to a Legoland theme park yet. But that'll be fun when I do. And I thought, hey, I like the Maniac stuff. I grew up with the Lego Maniac in the 90s and early 2000s, even though I know of Jack and Zach and probably a few other ones in between. The one that they have here isn't really a named character as far as I know. He's just the Lego Maniac. Any material that I've seen would just call him the Lego Maniac, whether it was on the commercials, the magazines, the catalogs, any of that stuff. I personally like to name him the Born to Build Maniac, because when he was introduced in the TV commercials, he would be advertised with the slogan, Born to Build. So, there's that. And then eventually they did away with the slogan, but still kept the character. And this hat in particular still has a tag on it, which is very nice. It's saying it's from the Legoland collection, which not always appears on Bricklink or eBay as far as the products go, because they're exclusive to the parks, but they are nice when they do. It is nice having the database with it. And underneath with the tag. So that was a cool one. But we're not done there. There's another Maniac item that I have that I'm going to say BrickTsar, inspired this. I looked at it many years ago of trying to get this thing. There was one or two on eBay at the time, but then it sold out before I actually called it my own. And then I saw it again recently in a BrickTsar video, because I knew he had it for a while. But he showed it to hide something underneath the video itself. I'll link it down below when it's uploaded. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to look again and see if it's available. And it was. There was like 2 or 3 of them left. And I was able to place an offer on it and cut it down a bit. So now I can sleep soundly at night knowing that I have a Lego Maniac pillowcase. I mean, at this rate, it might as well look like a flag, but this is actually made to be a pillowcase. They had many different Lego beddings. I've actually used 1 or 2 of them before. I think I got the Lego Movie pillow up here. The other bed set isn't here right now, the twin set, but I got this one as a gift back in 2014 or so. But now, I sleep as a Lego Maniac. I eat, sleep, and breathe Lego Maniac, don't I? But yeah, this is really cool, and this is one of the earlier designs of the Maniac itself, which I will talk more about all the different mascots through Lego history in my upcoming book, Bizarre Lego. So if you didn't know about that, you could check out about a month or 2 ago. I posted a video about that and all its fun, all that's coming up about it. It's the same thing on both sides, not worth join it back and forth as well. But it's cool to have. Now it's a new hat. So yeah, I've actually had that thought in the back of my mind for a long time of doing a Maniac for Bricks challenge, in which I would go through trying to find every Lego set that has the leather jacket torso that you see on the sig fig. And I'm still debating on that one, but as the 10-year anniversary approaches, I'm leaning more towards it. I do have some of them already, just by chance. And I think as a child, I grew up with only 2 of them, because one was a board game and one was an actual set. But that is something I've actually considered, was like getting every set that features the leather jacket torso. I think the most difficult ones that I know right off the bat, it's not a lot of them, and it's generally from like only like a 10-year gap, but not too many in between. It's really difficult. Other than the telecom ones, which I know BrickTsar has also done a video about. He's reviewed almost all of them. The telecom AT&T bike kind of sets, where they have the pink bicycles. That one, or several of those actually, feature cameramen on other bikes that have the leather jacket. So I don't know how well that's going to show up, if that's going to be easy to find all of those sets. I have actually seen the set that my sig fig came from, the grandstand from Lego Soccer. That's where the torso originally came from. I've seen that in a multi-pack 2 or 3 times. Like, it would either have like 1 or 2 other sets with it from the soccer theme. I don't know if I want to count that. I don't know if I want to count combo packs, bonus packs, whatever you want to call them, value packs, as part of it. But hey, if I've already known that it exists and I know where to find it, maybe I'll include it just for fun. So there we go. We got some Maniac stuff. And now I should probably tell you about what I'm actually dressing as for Halloween. One more thing I forgot to mention. I helped someone out with getting some furniture recently, and we also went to the Lego store in the same trip, and I did not buy anything, I swear I did not buy anything at the Lego store, but they picked up a couple of things and got a special gift with purchase. So when I helped them out with the furniture aspect of it, they said you can have this gift with purchase, and I am greatly appreciating that. And I got this. I got the Creator 3-in-1 car that I've heard mixed opinions about it. I think it's interesting of having a lot of colorful pieces in one set, especially for a creator set. But I have not built it yet. I've only looked through the instructions. It's kind of interesting. It might be worth opening up and building it. So let me know if you want to see that in the comments down below. Alright, now Halloween costume time. So like I said before, I don't dress up in Lego every year. I have plenty of other things that I've dressed up in the past, and maybe I'll share those on some other video. But for this year, I'm going to be dressing as a blue Power Ranger. I'm actually dressing with a group of people for my Nerf group this weekend, and possibly going to a Lego meeting shortly after to to wear this costume. I've never been a Power Ranger, or at least that I remember. I think my cousin was a Power Ranger one year. I'll have to go back through the archives to find out. But I've never been a Power Ranger from what I remember. I've known of the TV series a little bit through the early 2000s. I didn't remember watching it constantly. I had some of the toys of it, like the Burger King toys or things like that. But yeah, this is actually kind of fun because I am dressing with a group, and it's a lot better with a group having it. So I will be a Blue Ranger. I would have loved to be a Green Ranger, don't get me wrong. But there's a friend of mine, green's his favorite color. I'm okay leaning it to him. Like, for him being a Green Ranger, I'm going to be blue. I have a Black Ranger in the group and a Yellow Ranger. Yeah, I know we don't have a red, but honestly, I would not pin myself as a Red Ranger because I am not that good of a leader to do that. And I do actually have, speaking of the helmets that we were talking about before, I picked up the Morph suit because I figured, okay, this will be easy to wear. It does still have a helmet with it, but it's also kind of squash. So I kind of have to figure that one out and see if it'll actually be like visible through there. But it's also possible that maybe I could work around that and just use a helmet instead. So I picked up the helmet separately. It works okay. From what I've used, I got this like a day in advance of the rest of the costume, and I hope you can still hear me through this. But it works okay. The problem is, I'm looking right at the camera right now, but the helmet's tilted downward. And I'm trying to speak as loud as possible through this because there's a very tiny mouthpiece here. I mean, I honestly think this should have been a little bit bigger cut out, or even through the lips themselves, because I'm easily fogging up this whole screen just by breathing. I don't know if you heard any of that, but long story short, very short mouthpiece, so it actually fogs up the vision in here. And the biggest problem that I find with it, even though it's very easy to get on and off, it tilts downward. So I couldn't actually, I was looking at the camera the entire time when I did this motion before, you know, remember that? But the helmet, by default, tilted. I don't exactly know why, and some of it actually does get in my way, but it is very tight. This is an adult-size helmet, and it fits right around the sides of my face. So let me try that again. It's got like these Velcro bits on the sides of it, and then there's a little plastic piece on top. Maybe I could readjust it so it'll stand upward. So remember, I'm looking like this. Look at the camera, and by default, it's tilting downward. It's really not that helpful. I don't know. Either I have to return it or I have to customize it, and there's only a few days left, so I gotta figure that out before the party itself. So more likely I'm gonna return it because that might not help. I'm gonna see how it is with the morph suit and figure it out from there. And obviously I'm not gonna do a video about that because it's not really necessary. But I thought it'd be fun to share in the meanwhile. Let me know in the comments below what are your Halloween costumes for this year, even if they're not Lego related. And thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I will talk to you all very soon.